said here, Prince Laka already, since 2019, Juma wa AGIC. AGIC stands for African German Information Center. And we are partners with the ZRR, English, ZAA. Omona, they take care of getting professions recognized in Hamburg. Because in Germany, because in different German cities, the recognition process are different. And see, they take care for, although it's central for recognition, it's still almost special here in Hamburg. And Omona Fire like as their partner, because almost share recognition work in Asino, who say African women are having like a difficult time or struggling more than European women, Western women. And see, this is how they say, okay, they need people who would take special care of the African women, or an organization who would take care of the African women. And yes, because we are not clever or intelligent enough, but the system here is kind of very different when it comes to the systems that we have in the African countries. So that is because I don't know the English or even the Tree word, but Ahabibia are very bureaucratic. It seems like African women are having a hard time getting their papers together or going to the offices that they need to go. So that's why this African organization was asked to take care, especially for African women. One of the reasons why AGIC exists is also when you go to ZAA, they have only like 3 Höchstens, like most termine appointment they can give you is 3. After the 3, they will talk to you, but after it, you have to take care of yourselves. This is how it works. But when you come to AGIC, we have more time to counsel you through the whole process. So we are doing this work since 2019. And so, Prinsula, if you have made me co-host, then I would like to share mine.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, good. Then I will try to share. Wait. Yeah, I'm just having okay, I'll come back to you. So yeah, and then Bildschirm freigeben. So yeah, then here. So can you see it? Okay, wait. Type.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, very good. So I would like just to explain the process of getting a recognition here in German to you. But first, because the title for today is Career Choices and Job Opportunities in Germany, I would like to just explain like some wordings to profession, job, and career. Because in Germany, or not in Germany, but when it's come to recognition, a profession is not as the same as a job. So you can't a profession Not, or we mean profession here, bibia wesia, na ukra a whole certificate, and no, your friend a profession. That means having a job is you are working in some fields and doing, earning money. That is a job. But your profession is something that you have learned and have a certificate or holding a certificate for it. So we at AGIC always try to, when women come to us, sometimes some women know exactly what they want when they come to us. So they come and tell us, okay, Messia way, me studied this in Africa, in Ghana, or I did that, and I want to do the same here. But we also have some women who come and just don't know what to do. So I think for me, the most important thing, what I always want to know is, what is your affection? Because and then my colleague now catch me say, yeah, like in the 80s or early 90s, no, not to have a job, no, it doesn't have anything to do with affection. It's always just about your money for living. But nowadays, no, a job has to be, I said, yes, something you want to do, something that you are doing with affection, because if not, jobs can become very boring. And even to have a career, no, I think say, having a profession, a job. So when your profession, it means to say you have been studying, or you have been you have gone to some school in Ghana, they do diploma or vocational school or whatever. We and no nasa winya job. Not, but it's nothing that gives you purpose. It gives you a good feeling. When you are doing it, you have affection for it. It's hard to make a career, because I think to do a career is being successful in what you are doing. But when what you are doing is not you don't have an affection for it, it's sometimes, I think it's more harder to make a career. So this is what I wanted to start with today. We talk about what our motivation is when it comes to career. So now Yenya Aka Safa what job and career and profession is, we can come to the recognition process here in Germany. The question is, why should you get a recognition? Why it's important for someone to get the recognition? And just to be not being like young feelings too much, no. The first thing I think everyone, so profession, everyone should try to get the recognition is because here the pay systems are like two. If you have a profession and you have a paper, like a certificate, a document that show that you have a profession, that shows that you have a profession, the pay that you get is different, like when you are just doing a job without any certificates. So this is one thing that I think sometimes we don't know, or African women don't know, and ask themselves why getting a recognition. Whatever you have done or whatever you are doing, if you are holding any certificates about it, mostly you get a better pay, better pay than a person who is doing the same thing but without any certificate about it. So that is like one of the, I think, or the major reason why if you have something, you should get the recognition, because you will get a better pay. And beside that, I think the second reason is, like, as I said, with the affection already, having a job that you like doing and fits you mentally and physically, have our affection on your, who you are and on your health. Because some of us, if we have learned something in Ghana, we had such a position, but then you come here and people are told, yeah, you can't do anything but go and do cleaning jobs or work in a kitchen. And I don't want to put cleaning jobs or working in kitchens in any way down, because some people, this is their affection, this is their passion, and they are doing good in it, and they even get rich with it. So don't get me wrong, but if you have something that is your passion and your affection, but you are not able to work in that field, now you are doing it for a very long time, it can affect your mental health as also your physical health. So I think because work is such a big part of our lives. So when we look at a day had 24 hours. When we go work for like 8 hours, they say we should sleep 8 hours a day. So like 1/3 of your life you are spending, or of your day, you are spending with a job, with what you are working, your job, your profession, whatever. So if that doesn't make you happy, if it's something you don't like doing, if it's something where you have the feeling like you are not being paid well for it, it can affect you in a bad way. So what I would also like to say is the law to get a recognition in Germany is not very like, it doesn't exist like always. They just do, this law exists since 2012. So you can believe like all those who came before us, all those like my mom and the other older people who came before 2012 were told whatever they have, it's not possible to work with it here. So maybe you are in such an environment of people who came and they were told there is no possibility to work on your profession here. And this is what some people have in their mind. This is their mindset, but it was true, but it's no more true. Now there is a law. So you shouldn't let, I just want to say, don't let anyone demotivate you, telling you that it's not possible or it's hard. Okay, I think I haven't gone through the process myself, and I believe it's kind of hard, but what I also believe is that it's worth it in any ways. So now the two process of recognition. We have the so-called regulated profession and the non-regulated professions. I think I would like first to explain the difference between the regulated and the non-regulated. Regulated means when you have a profession that is so-called regulated profession, then you can be sure that you need a recognition to do that job. Without a recognition, you can't do that job in any ways, because you need a German, like a German institute or office that is saying, okay, you have learned that, and they are giving you the permission to work in that field. So when it comes to the regulated professions, here, it's kind of teacher. It's a regulated profession. One funny fact about that is like that even if someone is coming from the south of Germany, from Bayern or something, and is a teacher and wants to work here in the north, in Hamburg as a teacher, they also need a recognition, because the studies of teacher is so different from between Hamburg and the south, or between the north of German and the south of German. So that means teacher is one of the jobs or one of the professions that you can get like some kind of recognition. You can get it recognized, but it's almost impossible to work on that field here, because they say, okay, it's so different how they teach here, because here it's even not like in Africa. You have this whole kind of education. People study education sector, but here Lehramt is something very different. It's just so most people who have studied teacher in Africa, or in our case in Ghana, cannot, most of the time, they cannot become a teacher here, but they can become a tia, or SPA, that is a Sozialpädagogische Assistentin, or maybe even SPA, or social pedagogue. But become a teacher here is, when it comes to that recognition system here, it's almost not possible. The same goes also for law. When you were a lawyer in Ghana, it's almost like impossible to become. They don't say it's not possible, or it's not. You can do it. There are ways, but we have not met anyone where it has worked, because, and in this case, it makes even some sense, because the laws in Ghana are different than the laws here. So when you have studied law in Ghana, or even when you have studied law here, you can work like as a lawyer also in Ghana, because the laws are so different. So, but what you can do is still get your recognition. And when you have the recognition, you can work in the law sector. So we have clients that we counsel to get the recognition as a foreign law, knowing that they cannot work as lawyers here, but then they start applying for jobs in the law sector, that sometimes like people can apply for this shipping companies, shipping agencies that works with Africa together, where they need to know how the law in some African countries are. So then you are there and you are helping in some way. So, but yeah, as I said, there are some jobs, they are so-called regulated jobs. For that one, you need the recognition. You need to have it. Without a recognition, you can't work here in German in that field. So that's, as I put it down here already, teacher, healthcare workers like nurses, doctors, midwives, through freeze, everything in the healthcare is regulated and has to, for that you have to do the recognition. Architects, I talked with my colleague about it. It's also, it's kind of two things. You can be an architect here, like working in that field, but you can't hold the title because the title is a different one here than there. So it's kind of, there are some professions where it's kind of difficult to get recognition, but beside that, every job or every profession that you have done outside of Germany, you can also get it recognized here. And the non-regulated professions are here is almost every work in business or management. IT is also not regulated. Works in the media and communication fields are not regulated. Sales profession, like even when it's come even to sales profession, when you were like just, sorry for saying just, but when you were like selling clothes in Africa, where you don't have a paper or a certificate about it, but you can still say, try to get some kind of, or better, you have no, you can still apply for a job in that field because that's the non-regulated profession. In the non-regulated profession, you can just apply for a job, and if a company decided to take you, then it's their decision. So for that one, like that are jobs where the states don't come in. You can just, when you are like a media and communication manager or something, you have learned something in that field, you can just take your papers, your Ghanaian certificate. If you want, get it translated. Maybe you find a company that is saying, hey, we are English speaking company, we don't need even any translation, and just apply for a job there. It's their decision to say they are going to hire you or not. But in the regulated profession, they can do that. For that one, you need a paper that is said you are a recognized nurse or a recognized healthcare worker or a recognized licensed social worker. So these are the non-regulated jobs, and here's the regulated professions. I've put this here. If you like, I can send you the link later. This link is www.anerkennungindeutschland.de. There you can find if what you have learned is regulated or not. I can send the link later, yeah?
I think you left, someone just wrote me that you left something in licensed social worker, and also
oh, sorry, again? Okay, yes, I might try, sorry.
Yeah, and
I
also
forgot.
You left licensed social worker. Someone just wrote me, say one can be for licensed social worker under regulated profession.
Okay, yes, okay, Matsi. Licensed social worker, also you're regulated. So we see a social worker in Ghana. We have here a social worker. Like more money refugees for them no non-regulated unya a company or because or mobile power, you can work as a social worker. But license here is there is here a social worker that is called anerkannter Sozialarbeiter. And for that one, it's regulated. So you have to find out, and mostly even Germans that have learned, or more German for or Muslim social worker, still have to do a year Anerkennung to become anerkannter Sozialarbeiter. So you can be a social worker, you can have a profession from outside, a social worker, and then you try here to get this anerkennung so that you can be a licensed social worker. But like, yeah, that's it. If someone is a social worker, you have to find out, you can be a licensed one when you do not do the recognition. So I have to hurry up a bit so we will have time for the questions. Here, how to get the recognition. Recognition here in Germany, a process. And sometimes, yeah, now baby who call, who do papers call, no matter, no matter, okay, you are this, ni amount paper for fraud, and I am something. But it's about recognition, yeah, a process. And a processor, and yeah, something from a near na way or call back it's finished. It takes time. And some African women yet demotivated because what we know is people have family back home who are relying on them. Say obi or waha ni mami ni nuamo ewo back home or more change say or babies a support to the family. Say you can't recognition, you can't say, okay, I feel now we'll do a profession, but now you're recognize, and then you have to go to school to have the full recognition. Now, some African women back up, say, okay, and yeah, let me just get some job. But what I always want people to know is it's worth it, because say, try even to talk to your family back home to understand, say, so when your recognition the kind of earnings you will have will be much better than when you go and do some jobs that are not paid good. And also, although we have respect for those who do the hard work, because we are all in the system. Old people, so problem. And see, if this is your affection, you should do it. But affection, old people be now at the end of the day, before say ubenya 50s crane be or body a week or all that or family back home no so and to let people understand, say, okay, you want to support, but first you have to support yourself first so that you will be stable, so that ubeya juma mentally and physically. So it's a process. The process are two, like for vocational and diploma professions. Mostly, there are your offices or diploma and vocational professions. And I said, when it comes to bachelor and master, beside some regulated jobs, so there, a difference, kakra. Different, but yeah, mostly who were university, you have studied, you have bachelor or master, you were set be or more born a honor you do papers back. And what I also want to say, Obi or house, okay, Namiso mention Bibia or Ghana. So what should I do? This anerkennungs Gazette, this anerkennungs law, is also opening up for women to learn something. So we share nasa wajin okay, mention be back home, but still I have an idea, I have an affection what I want to do. There is a possibility to start something new, to start a new profession. The thing what you have to do, Nisa, you need at least your secondary school or some, without, as I said in the beginning here, everything is very bureaucratic. So without any certificates or paper, no, yeah, they are very difficult to get you somewhere. But so who cry, WASI, WAYEC, or what they are all calling, there is a possibility to get that recognized so that you can start maybe something new and ausbildung. So yet now Yanko requirements. I think that the highest or the most important thing in here, but obvious, say ube here, so person recognition now, ube here will documents means so what study will Ghana here certificates, but more important than certificates is always the transcript. So uko university, so uko a diploma course, whatever you have done, without the certificate and the transcript, there's almost like no way to get the recognition. But yana it be more media transcripts, no, I haven't kept it. Ghana here, some people just throw it away. We have, but there is still a possibility to get it. Mostly the school now, if they are still there, there is a possibility to get your certificates and your transcripts. So beside your studies, when you work, we studies, we all very good is also having like a recommendation letter from where you've worked. Now Africans always show like how good you work and such things. But for the recognition, dear, first thing what is needed is how long you work there, and like from when to when you work there, and most importantly, what you were doing exactly. Because I don't know, okay, this we do also here in Germany, you also did it in Ghana, because if there is anything how they do things here and you didn't do it in Ghana, it's kind of a minus. You have the possibility later to work on it, to further your education on what they do here, but didn't do it in Ghana. But if you have done it, it's a plus. So the recommendation letter is how long you did, or how long you work, and what you were doing exactly. So this is the documents that we need. And then also very important is your German language level. Meaning some moms try to why the baby is still small, so because without the language, it's very difficult to get the recognition. For the recognition process or applying to get a recognition, you don't need the language, but you have to further your education and you don't have the language. You are going to sit most of the time with German-speaking people, not even people like me, but with Germans together. And you will have a German teacher who won't take any like, good language in your good so your boss or something. They are going to teach as they teach always. Into language level, also very important. And then you also how you are going to pay, because getting recognition is the state of Germany wants African women to get recognition and work in their professions. So they help they offer help. But if they can't, if you are like not in the system and you are doing, it costs money. But if you are in the system, we know how to apply a job center or Agentur für Arbeit to get everything paid. I think most of our clients never paid for anything when it comes to the recognition, because job center or Agentur für Arbeit take from the translation to say the application, say a bachelor and say master at ZAB, or for health workers, baby a call mujiska, but now mini job center and Agentur für Arbeit for aka or take his cost no. And to say ye ne Agentur für Arbeit for carry no so take cost na. Now you call here translation, and so we'll translate your document from English into German. Now, after just next step in that process is to get the application. Into when your application, bro, my colleague said, because my English is also not that good, or say your friend assessment report. In German, it's called Defizitbescheid. In that paper, no, after you have replied, no, they will send you a paper telling you, say, dear we no Africa, and dear we Hano. This is missing. This is what you have to go to school to learn, to have the full recognition. So this assessment reports, no, is something like we call it Teil Anerkennung. So it's kind of a part of your recognition. They have said what you have learned is a profession that they also have here, but you have to go to school. So that school is the adaptation course that you have to take. Now, we take is that adaptation course, no, then you get the full recognition. So I'm almost finished. Here, yeah, baby, agik your Wendenstraße 29. Wendenstraße 29, Usi Hamburg Bahnhof, just 5 minutes walk. Now what drew your office, and see if you would like, if you have learned anything or you want to learn something in the future, nasa opese uhuye ya ahana ya wobeti so amiti me ade me aka tre principal mo beti me ajime number to contact me for an appointment. Yeah, so now we are open for questions.
Ladies, Pacho, wow, pese ubita question, but my raise you hands and also bit me akasa. Pacho, see, Connie, Pacho bit me akasa.
Hello. Me pacho okasano otre about ebesua kasano susu. But say as to say be yesia ebenya up to be eins and be swai and I say eins no. And the ranka hono kakra tinka obi to me aka hono kakra my say we'll see yesia to level of say eins and I say be swai. Pacho me dasi.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Medase. The language level now we hear now you always depend on the opesa way. Because there are some jobs some professional before so recognition I just at least B2 or C1. But some so can be BR and then make say like the non-regulated jobs, ni say be a winya English-speaking company be wahana ukonomusi they need an English-speaking person or be ambusa or language level, but in the regulated jobs now hodia or mama like it depend on the recognition and as a profession now meaning for a year, for example. Before so mobema was starting even because say yes or more some kind of test to be to see if you are ubetimi aya nasa untimenye. For that one you should have at least B2. And so they want you to have C1. And see Principal, I think more course no so sa network. It's a B2 and I say a C1.
Your course na B2, but a bear kakani a bear C1s.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, it depends on the professional person way. But so who said in American, so person who see BB will get recognition because almost every recognition be a so call school kakraka home. And see. So who co school no na so German teacher nejina hona sa okasana say you are like unsimengo. What I will recommend say B2 ne dear, everyone should have it, but it depends also on the profession you have.
Okay, thank you. Kasawa. I try me who's helping out. Kasawa until Kasano. Debut, just all Kazakasi.
I think so. Okay, a process. But let me say one can't say and see maybe a person maybe make a recognition 2 years, 1 year recognition, 6 months, and also
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and also so it depends. A process, and I made say what say that means that it take time to get like so we even the first application, so what you have studied and as a ukra bachelor and as a master, so you send it and me for process before we call job center and as agentura for arbeit because some people go and they ask them their language level, almost a level no winyan drew into who drew sa level now we bet me yes jumana no abani ya can't financial issues no wasem. And see all that no dear mean to me I say it's take this or that. It's depend on where you are, who is taking care of you by job center and all that. But say you papers your translation you be you bet me application now. Mostly it take 3 months. Set RB take 3 months. Big if how also say 3 months. And I think the next one is for a TR on SPR, so almost and to application here 3 months. But after 3 months, no this people bro say, okay, this is what is missing. This is what you have to. And see what is missing will determine how long you have to go to the school, to this assessment course. Some people have to go to assessment course for six months. Some have to go for 12 months. Some have to go for 9 months. So it's always depend on what kind of what your profession is.
Okay, thank you. Kaswa Pacho, so what's here? I think so what's here, but maybe I want to mean Kasa. Madeline Pacho, miss more questions. Same fan say Ubiwa
Yeah, so I'm saying my little discussion, no question.
Okay, so what part you also saying?
You see my little discussion, no question, but I'm okay with it.
Ah, okay, you. Si say be a obi sua adepam like see or you seamstress and or buttery. Like those things, no. So saying then obetimi aye like obetima twaso ahasi anasa also or play different thing. And I'm fancy ubu or one should go school baby fancy we junior high school. That's all bahasi a then no obetimi aye.
Yeah, okay. Hairdresser, any how do you call it? Any seamstress, no? I think that in Ghana, Yana, this is what most people do, but here no, they are very like different. People can't put them together like. But what I know, say, when it comes to hairdresser, yeah, well, this handwerks kammer. Or a so-called Kenntnisprüfung, another Eignungsprüfung, which means you can go there and look on it, and you can do a Kenntnisprüfung or Eignungsprüfung. What especially to hairdresser, no problem. Say. Omuka always say, yeah, and what we do in Africa with our hair no, is so different from what they do here. Into a person or yet a hairdresser no, as to say, enka osaye Ausbildung no annoyed. Also osaye aus or osia sa hairdresser and how they do hair here. But it depends. We had a client who had a lady who had a saloon was say obia onim sa African hair near because onya clients are mobile because omo pese or your ball more rasta and I say omo pe weave or something like that. Until she was ready, say and go be take his women no onya Ausbildung one her. And because so we're seeing BB or Africa no sentinel, they wanted to have a look and kasa Kenntnisprüfung now moya na handwerkskammer or kohoa no mashe Kenntnisprüfung means I will call meeting. I think see because what you know. And see, I haven't done it myself. Like I haven't have it because clients and she didn't want it to do it at the end. So I don't know how the process is. Like I haven't been in it myself. But what I've learned is, no what how you can do it. No, matter take it. Okay, dear, why you know it's. You bet me about half a year less in your Ausbildung. And I said, you have so much knowledge also about white hair, it be a 1 year. The same is with any handiwork, as well. And sa no ejuma bia, sa na omoye no like, so ukosa websites na make na. Ube who say, I think that yeah, it comes to almost say, how do you call it? As a Kfz-Mechaniker. Minim ne English or more car juma. So we see a BBC or Africa, for example, wutimi baha or mutimi call edukora Werkstatt. So we could see or how you, so they will like test you. So at the end of only say you see a very expensive, so not many people do it. But this Kenntnisprüfung is always about showing what you can do, and then they will say if it's okay or not. But for hairdresser and Yidia, I would say mostly omoye Ausbildung no nochmal. And when it comes to JSS, Yeah, JSS, to be honest, and also me all that experience, or most of our clients just have the WAEC or WASI, like the secondary school. But what I know, they say you match or modisa paper never into what they buy, it's me the cost behörde. Now ya mashu behörde for I should say which of the systems here it fits in, either Elbeyer Hauptschulabschluss, mittlere Reife, anase Abi. WAEC na almost a year Abi. And see everything under WAEC, no, I think say a Hauptschule, anase mittlere Reife. And then you can find an Ausbildung where you can do with mittlere Reife. But if you want to further your education, so I think that there are possibilities because your Abendschule waha. A year for employing for like so 1 year will Abi now when you near we better person we will studying 2% year Abia. There are Abendschule as well, evening schools where you can go, so we can sit together and we make a research and find out what we can do for that person.
Okay, thank you. Erica, Pacho, what's your answer?
Yeah, my Pacho, my question is a friend told me say one of kindergarten atuna also no more pay it's here or share English. Now maybe son say I can't be sure because say ukta behind some one so be try. And my friend catch me so busa no say what the okuta behind some kwa it's okay. Maybe Mr. Madeline say, is it possible? I said, it's here, what about English? Now we could only be answering without be try. Because some almost kind, such for the kind. So only be answers. The person be some. Yeah.
Okay. Dimitsimiaka about that, they say, although ETIA and teachers are regulated ones now, there is of course a possibility for obia or higher to say media ubana ukra wenkwa okay for me, because we have like one client who right now or person or teacher waha, but as I said already, to teacher thing very difficult. But she has been working at this international school at Hamburg. Or more person as like English speaking children and how everything is in English. So she has been working there. They didn't ask for any kind of level because almost obey English. So or and I say even before so unyan or buy your host or person unya recognition. She was able to work there without an official recognition because omuna higher no and a private school like in a state school there. They have rules and you have to keep to that rules. And it's a unya or be so foul no say, hey, may foul, but because I need you in English, so B1 you okay, is their decision. They can take that decision and see it could be possible, yeah.
Okay, Erica, I hope so. What's it? A question, I say.
Maybe sure.
Okay, Martin Lubia throw me private message or say Italy papers. That's what they say obetimi edia bibi wa say.
Okay.
And if possible, like then also answer and the papers now I recognize meaning say no if it's in your power to explain more about it.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything wrong. And see, what I would say to that person is opanka on frame na me colleagues now, because I think that as long as Otimidi Italy papers no it's not hana dear, there should be a possibility to do also because so Otimidi Italy papers ne ye juma waha. there is no way to say but we won't give you because the recognition process now. Yeah, you can like obi right now obi wo Ghana nase okase or person onya recognition, and in this case na me patcha only the paper it said the Usian or Africa no, it is recognized here. You can be in Ghana and still apply for it here. So only say would it be Jumano, of course, a very different case. And he said, on me private, na mimbusa me colleague, or yes, Jumano since 2015. He has more knowledge about that.
Okay, thank you. Eddie, super so a question.
No.
Partial questions from you or
Hello. Me pacho. Me kasa. Me pacho. Me question no. What be said be kakra ma me na NC NC papa. Me pacho. So obi a sim stressor. Obi here be eyes and answer be smile.
I think so for seamstress no, because a non-regulated like Ushia Ubino Kasa or Befau to work for them as a seamstress is kind of dear or muna or team or no and our team take his decision no say may foul into me person with German level they do this or that. But local job center say who person will recognition as a seamstress. Or most bet me I can say yeah, but before you can do it, we want you to have this or that. But because the non-regulated, it hasn't any like level that you need. But as I said, I will always recommend to have at least B1 or B2 because everything under it's to work with. And I say, well, when your recognition, I must say, okay, this is what you are missing. Go to school and to get the full recognition. So would it be B1 or B2? It's very difficult to do that.
Okay. Me pacho me das. Me pacho me das Matthias.
No. Mama makasa ni hunamo. One thing me see mama makasa ni hunamo. One thing they say nipa bebre is too kasano. But who the show team say kasa idi dio to say they buy any it oh kasa idi dia. But na class who say I buy dia mo.
Yeah.
I show team say kasano. I'm me very stronger than kasano. Ain't no matter what. Me to me kasano apa say akomenim. And I believe say ubeti me. See control ubeti me without question.
Me pacho kame pese me who say your age limit be wo se bia wo pese wo ye bibia unfie no your age limit be say untumi wo age awadri untumi nye ana obetumi because me wa damfo bi or 42 years your Ghana no ye biomedical scientist na da bia me ne kasa ase on pese obe use ni certificate ni bi me ka o sini age no e wa anim inti no ontumi nya afi no obetumi obeko school obetena classroom something like that inti be say me who say your age limit bi wo say bia wo drew age say ya ontumi nya bibi ana say sen ni pa cho me da say.
Okay, Miss Medase. I think that said you cannot limitation na a one no honor a one because when it comes to law, dear, and that's when it comes to self recognition, law, there's no limitation because of course one limitation is there. Say for women, I think say is 67 as a 65. Wouldn't you 65 a so-called pension? Ain't a person or about 60 something, I think say they will ask you say for what? do you want to do the recognition? But and yes, idea, there is no limit. As long as you have it, you have, because I'm saying now can be said or say or the age want to mean classroom, and I think and only a be or no any limitation or day manner, but there is no limitation when it comes to the law, what you can do with your with your profession. And 42, what I always make catch my clients always or mobile say so we year Juma ha kopim say ubenya 67 before you can go to pension. People try to get free renter or more try or more farmer and to be sure say that if nothing really happens to you ubeka say oh yeah because oh a dear way they won't mean yeah Juma biem and you have to stay home. You have to work till you are 67 and for a 42-year-old person you have almost 30 years ahead of you so we year Juma. Pensions are. And see, why are you limiting yourself? And the year a Juma biswa a year hard worker. One shakra wouldn't drew so much age now for why you're weak. But what's here be a comfortable something taking care of yourself. You bet you will castle guja. Why are you limiting yourself to some kind of age? And see, they may make us say, motivate your friend. Say there is no limitation in that. And now people think so. You drew age be so difficult to learn. So the principal account with the language, limitation. And no sooner we live it. What do you also when you're 40 something? People are going to universities with normal after they are in their pension. So motivate her say the age na man stop no.
Okay, good. I'm sure question is bien you hope you
me that's
and I see. Pacho, what question for Fro? Madeline, that means say, yeah, teacher. To man, so be a teacher or Ghana to set the okay, be our child or JHS and I say, etc. So, casting up as well, say very difficult to work. So, or be recognizing a certificate, no about better idea what I see, That means say to be a teacher, no, any so try the kindergarten difference, because Ghana the training in a teacher.
Yeah. Yes, a different one because even Ghana, no, what I've learned with my clients, your teacher diploma, and going to study education. These are two different things, but here no dear omoye kindergarten no omoye Ausbildungsberuf. We can for 3 years Ausbildung, but Lehramt university Beruf. And yes, there is a difference, but what the way as I say or man making is say who's a teacher outside, but you are able to be a teacher at CRN here. But I can also tell from my own experience, my brother, he's no more here, but he was also here and he was a teacher in Ghana. And of course, he was not able to work with it, but what he could do is, because the unya sa recognition as etiana and as SPR. There are very different levels and ways you can work with. So my brother, although he hadn't even the recognition, he was working nachmittags as English Nachhilfelehrer. means say in the afternoon but on your recognized teacher, but as they are the school was seeking for someone who will help the children who have difficulties in English. They just hired him, but he didn't hold the title as a teacher, and he couldn't work or earn the money that a teacher earns. So it's nachmittags Sachen, so where you will be teaching, but Etia is, so what I want to say is that Etia Nasa SPA and your only kindergarten, but to hold the title teacher there, it's almost impossible when you are coming from outside.
But wait me about so if you be remember wait me I could invest in so you're well in there now what me I get is that title.
Of course, like to
that's all over again.
Yes, I know they're all over because you like obi bana or per se or yes study or as on per se or study you have to get your WIAC or something recognized and you can start studying. And see, unim se wa ba o per se o ye teacher waha get your WAFI or WIAC recognized and start studies as a teacher.
Okay. So question is not so.
Me pacho question bi wo.
Me pacho you beside.
Me pacho me join it very late. Me join a chat this year. But me one question bi. Me person me who na me a midwife for Ghana. And then me be realm no ma wo. Me ba no almost a year. But me person me twa me ye me be free no ha. Nti me person me who kwan a me fa so a metimi aye midwife no ha. That's
yeah.
Maybe so mama wa kwa betimi abo.
Sana kamebe kasa wait please me ya wo pure ha wa go through the whole process herself. And see not Princella, could you explain please?
Yeah, and me pacho you need to send documents now, Madeline. You need it. And now you need B2 no. For now, you need B2. But so when you regular deficit beside don't come.
Yeah, deficit beside, yeah.
Now when you say deficit beside now, so will be one corner was when you say letter na ubet me that started with anekenu. As with me the adaptation course mean can say and adaptation course no more difference. Either say we go school and I say we practicals in kwa ewo hospital. And no na be decided the opposite way. Sometimes it's so depending on state to crowd one. Or when the lecturer say also your clinicals in kwa na say we go school e come. But at the end school to for school na me call any say mama no na enye necessary so here say okuta B2 and I say B1 because in class obu o ha no okuta Dutch certificate bia but otimika kasaniti o babesua ade ono ne so betimi no communicate what try ade abetiasie. But the problem comes they say who we school do na kwaje license or the practice here behold the here B2 without a B2 no who nya license ain't mean practice as a midwife. And now or masters and laws need be say because first na house based on midwifery na house based on that has a diploma training as a training college. But in the next 5 years no or statistics they say no degree from 2021 but almost some grace period before 5 years. And it is a when me and shuffle and recognition process within the next 5 years now. You need C1 and son wait me. Sorry, I said wait me yes recognition process no. And it is said the manage no. Advice I made me that man and say obey language. So will be over so by the mama obey me our dinner why language no. Because me ban say for instance no sapa and I'm done how the quiet language no tea. one kasa determination, they say we know be so mu. Now uko enim kakra. Unya language ni bia. You can start, and I said without the language in crowd, wait me apply to say them I think because you hold it on to get the other canoes this big deficit with shy no much in here kasanasa because kasan you just need it for your life.
Yeah, I think that yeah, me say Prinsula, for example, Okoye Neso Okoye Nidiano outside of Hamburg, because it's a Hamburg don't have the adaptation course right now here. But right now, no, Berlin, course be a online course. We have one client who's trying to get in it. Ubani sana, it depend on your language level. So, you contact, na me office contacts, na ka uba, na ya share your language level. Any day you starting right now. So say ubedru a stage watching you say you are ready to go full in it.
Okay. Yeah, Madam Wasapa.
Okay, you're welcome. Some 35.
Okay. But so that more understanding that hear more information or contacts need there. So what the two WhatsApp group my things about because teaching no share your Ghana no. As like say kakra mayen. Is a very difficult amaye honey jumanti. Me here or contact number team no kasa more. More information. It's very possible there.
Some 35. Oh, your WhatsApp group team.
I Regina Dennis.
Yes, I don't have any problems. Prinsella Ode may contact no it's so hard. You can do it. And as I said, teaching no to become a teacher, no but it's here and as a SPR, no dear. That we have many women as and our clients, as I say, a bit more more adaptation course and yeah. We can talk about that. We have a schedule now.
Okay. Question Asana. Thanks a question in answer. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, Mpacho, you be a question. Sir Julius, Pacho, wait, Makasa.
Pacho, the person who said, will be a Juma, the salary of Virginal. Pacho, me say, Obi a Juma, me person who salary obey me, obey, and at the end of the month, no. Then I be a person, so. Pacho, you know me. Mr. Julie.
But madly wait to make a BBA salary, no.
Oh, sir, no dear. I think, sir, Nadia Busa, Juma Bay, it's depend on job crowd, because we here no, the system is there are so many levels and understandings, and because baby it's depend on your how you negotiate with people to get what you want them to pay you. Baby also there's no possibility to negotiate about anything because they have this called Tarifvertrag. And this is they have it already, and they will put you in some levels. Like where I work, I'm in a level and there is no way to negotiate about anything. So it's just depend on the job you are doing and the company that you are, because company can see how we scout you have good money. Company be so how you get to the money or bit here. So it depends. There are so many levels and yeah, and it depends on how you get paid.
And I think so depending on because I was starting salary into as time goes on, maybe every year, the betum, maybe a commission being so maybe a holiday pays. Into dependent ejuma cro share any company no. And as a you interview, you're not some cast on befa or besides obedi almost saying. Into the also be can the bema into dependent.
Yes. Even anase ebi okra would throw application now or mutrogumu say when you are applying, tell them what you want to earn before and no modesha to say be or mobile to interview or not, because they will say nay they open you too high, they can pay into your mom cra ebi also. So it's there are so many different levels how when it comes to pay. Yeah.
Now, me patrol to say, Oma try or kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
You have a fair idea, because I think say most of us are very interested there. Say or kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
What's a fair idea? Say I don't mean say be our fair idea of how much or much.
No, to be honest, I don't know, but you can Google it to find like unya exactly, because as I said, no, obi koye koye juma or kindergarten from diakoni. Diakoni is goals, omu ye big, people have an eye on them, so if they pay bad, there will be talkings. And obi so koye obi private kindergarten kids will be or non how many children they have, no, and it's but what I can say in this say what we always try say obia or I have right now one client who has studied, and we try say onya SPR, because SPR is less paid than a TRN. And so if you have studied in Kwadia, always try to get the ETIAN, because ETIA are like higher. SPR is like the assistant of the ETIA. And of course, they are paid less than ETIA. So maybe this is helpful.
Okay, thank you. Obaku.
Okay, Miss Midlandsey. My question is in fact, why Anna Kellen, why BBA? Fancy Gizonta for a bank post too. I catch us a kohakoye a juma. And I say one also through application to copy juma. That's
And then me and Sama. One I'll bet through application yako. Gizon high obian post too. They open abe. Open so ye juma or cranking. The baby have so could be a ultra application of one year for no start ye juma. Yeah.
If I me to make a sakaka.
Me patrol I.
Concerning
Five no.
What I know is SPR say Osha yeah. Omu pay omu besha the amount 1,800, almost 2,000. And as time goes on, and so omu yen say year biano omu the pay ni become. Likewise, a year on and also sir, but I no year higher, and no year over 2,000. And omu the
So you know brute and I say
And the minimum.
Okay. Yeah, because netto the a bit class.
Netto say a brutal and it's on cash because so that class one you can see a amount brutal 1,008 at the end of the day, it's me about 1,000, 2,003. Yeah, who he has so be say netto and say brutal.
Me pacha enu momu die. Me ka se minimum no me chance ro. Se me exist.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, fair idea. 1,008. Makes me midwives.
Per annum, between 26,000 and 30,000. Yeah, but around that same figure.
Makes me midwives for the actual. Oh, yeah, midwife now starts fresh. Group 3,200 plus. Inti o calculate here. I think it's a question no
yeah, but some more council say 1,000 things nina so a full time. Yeah, it's a full time one, right? And okay. Because for single moms, I think they are interesting also to know if they can do tight and as the visa and our moms in general.
Yeah, I think so. Bukrom had the either say full time and I say part time. And then yeah.
Huh?
And yeah,
oh, but okay, so there are some I think that the only you say company be how will be obey part-time. Until right now, Corona by now is they are fighting for a law say you want to do and the company has to accept it.
all right, ladies. I think say any question Mary, any question? Huh?
What's your question?
You. Okay. And now you're be close. Patcho Elvis' wife also.